Oh, what's going on here? We're looking at the roof for some reason. Oh dear. We've... Sorry about that. Don't know what the heck was going on there. A little bit of a technical issue going on. Okay. So we're doing chapter 12 today. It's going to be a little bit tricky because there's several voices involved. Well, Teddy Henfrey, hello. We're Mr. Hall, as well as the Invisible Man, and a bunch of others. Actually, I think that might be it. Okay, check recording device as the Yeti. Okay. Now, Henfrey's a tricky one. I thought I'd made him nice and clear and distinct when I created him, but I don't know, he just sounds a bit weird now. Teddy Henfrey. Anyway, it's okay. It's all good. We'll get through it. It'll be fine. Maybe a bit of a tricky one to do. We are here nice and early once again to defeat the sounds of construction and whatnot in the background. So let's get to it before people start using drills and swinging hammers. Chapter 12. The Invisible Man loses his temper. It is unavoidable that at this point the narrative should break off again for a certain very painful reason that will presently be apparent. No, I'll do that again. It is unavoidable that at this point the narrative should break off again for a certain very painful reason that will presently be apparent. While these things were going on in the parlour, and while Mr. Huckster was watching Mr. Marvel smoking his pipe against the gate, not a dozen yards away were Mr. Hall and Teddy Henfrey discussing in a state of cloudy puzzlement the one eeping topic. Suddenly there came a violent thud against the door of the parlour, a sharp cry, and then silence. "Hullo," said Teddy Henfrey. "Hullo," from the tap. Mr. Hall took things in slowly but surely. "That ain't right," he said, and came round from behind the bar towards the parlour door. He and Teddy Henfrey approached the door together with intent faces, their eyes considered. "Summat wrong," said Hall, and Henfrey nodded agreement. Whiffs of an unpleasant chemical odour met them, and there was a muffled sound of conversation, very rapid and subdued. "You all right there?" asked Hall, rapping. The muttered conversation ceased abruptly for a moment's silence. Then the conversation was resumed in hissing whispers. Then a sharp cry of, "No! No, you don't!" There came a sudden motion, and the oversetting of a chair, a brief struggle, and silence again. "What the deuce?" exclaimed Henfrey, sotto voce. "You all right there?" asked Mr. Hall, sharply again. The vicar's voice answered with a curious jerking intonation. "Quite right. Please don't interrupt." "Odd," said Mr. Henfrey. "Odd," said Mr. Hall. "Says don't interrupt," said Henfrey. "I heard'n," said Hall. "Under sniff," said Henfrey. They remained listening. The conversation was rapid and subdued. "I can't," said Mr. Bunting, his voice rising. "I tell you, sir, I will not." I tell you, sir. It's hard doing these voices all at the same time. "Oh, I tell you, sir, I will not." "What was that?" asked Henfrey. "Says he will not," said Hall. "Weren't speaking to us, was he?" "Disgraceful," said Mr. Bunting within. "Disgraceful," said Mr. Henfrey. "I heard it distinct." "Who's that speaking now?" asked Henfrey. "Mr. Cuss, I suppose," said Hall. "Can you hear anything?" Silence. The sounds within indistinct and perplexing. "Sounds like throwing a tablecloth about," said Hall. Mrs. Hall appeared behind the bar. Hall made gestures of silence and invitation. This aroused Mrs. Hall's wifely opposition. "What you listening there for, Hall?" she asked. "Ain't you nothing better to do, busy day like this?" Hall tried to convey everything by grimaces and dumb show, but Mrs. Hall was obdurate. She raised her voice, so Hall and Henfrey, rather crestfallen, tiptoed back to the bar, gesticulating to explain to her. At first, she refused to see anything in what they had heard at all. Then she insisted on Hall keeping silence while Henfrey told her his story. She was inclined to think the whole business nonsense. Perhaps they were just moving furniture about. "I heard'n say disgraceful, that I did," said Hall. "I heard that, Mrs. Hall," said Henfrey. "Like as not," began Mrs. Hall. "Hush," said Mr. Teddy Henfrey. "Didn't I hear the window?" "What window?" asked Mrs. Hall. "Parlour window," said Henfrey. Everyone stood listening intently. Mrs. Hall's eyes, directed straight before her, saw without seeing the brilliant oblong of the inn door. I should put a break there. Saw without seeing the brilliant oblong of the inn door, the road white and vivid, and Huxter's shop front blistering in the June sun. Abruptly, Huxter's door opened, and Huxter appeared, eyes staring with excitement, arms gesticulating. Damn it. I need Huxter. What did Huxter sound like? I don't have him in this file. Far out. Fool. He must be on the other computer. Gosh darn it. Huxter. Where was he? We can find it. All right, just searching through the spreadsheet now to see where Huxter was. We can find out which chapter. 9. Mrs. Hall and Huckster. Okay. Right, it'll be in there for sure. I'm very annoyed. I haven't stored all of the characters as I should. Uh-oh. And now my tablet has died for some reason. Gosh darn it. Ah, technology. It makes everything such fun. And it's not turning back on. Okay, maybe the battery died all of a sudden. I've got to sort out power to the booth. I don't actually have direct power here, which is a bit of a pain. All right, I think we're going to have to call this session a little bit early. Sorry about that. I had intended to finish all of this. Oh, we're rebooting. And it's telling me, yeah, the battery's dying. Okay, that's all right. Well, it's not all right. But at least we know the solution is to go charge the tablet. Okay, sorry about that, folks. We'll be back later at some point. I have to get some recording and editing done today before I go off to do other jobs. The gaming channel is on day 3 of season 2 Valheim, so we're having quite a bit of fun over there. You should come visit us for that later on in many hours. Keep an eye on the Discord if you want to join that. That's got all the info. Or Steve Stuff Gaming, of course, puts up a post just before we start as well. So I'm going to bugger off now and try and solve all of these problems, which seem pretty easy, to be honest. And we'll be back later on. Sorry about this. Thanks for your patience. We'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. And off with the light.